Okay, so let's go check how the final. I'm sorry. Can we just? What the? Who am I? Harp, 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 harp. I kind of didn't realize what I was doing. That I had the potential of actually recording my process of making Freddy Fazbear ears, and here we are, using scotch and a toilet paper cardboard. Yeah, that's about it right now. I wanted to do a more planned out cosplay and do something that was a little bit more, you know, thoughtful, but the time just blew by and I didn't have the time or the resources or the planification, and we were like 11 people going to the cinema. So I settled by going with a formal vintage brown jacket, and just to emphasize, I was trying to resemble Freddy Fazbear. I did a DIY Freddy Fazbear hat that it was not even the same style, but I just did what I do. Also, about the glasses, yeah, I can't see with these glasses. These glasses are... I swear to God, I can't see. Like, I can't see. Dude, I can't see. Very clearly, those glasses weren't doing me any favors in watching or creating this beautiful masterpiece, but I had them because they were like my signature thing. In this part of the video, I was actually building a little support for the ears because they fell down if I didn't put anything behind it. Pretty good to go, I think. Moving on from that, I can just say, honestly, I did not plan this out. I know the final result looks extremely goofy, and I used whatever I could find and tried to make this DIY hat. It looked goofy as hell. The watermark of the hat was like right in front of my face. It just sucked. Can I even call myself an artist at this point? Why did I thought this was a good idea? So I did a very bad decision, which was stick the ears here when they should be somewhere like around here instead, because it's more solid, it makes more sense, and they don't look that weird. But since I can't do that, I'm just gonna try and reutilize this madness and hoping it will stick long enough. Hold on, let me just... Okay, so we are trying to make this look a little bit more... Hold on, let me just... Am I doing this right? I don't think I'm doing this right. You know what? It kind of works. What are the chances that I'm actually gonna walk outside using this stupid hat?
Bring your ass over here!
The Fnaf movie. I'm gonna go watch it soon. Hopefully the next time you see me, I am entering the cinema. Bye!
Michael?
Okay, we just watched Fnaf movie. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible movie. Well, to be honest, Vanessa was also kind of hot. So.
Again, I'm sorry, this is like one of my celebrity pencils. I would do anything.
Together we are Fnaf.
Together we are Fnaf. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks since I watched the Fnaf movie.
Oh, cholera!
This is what is left of my hat. Look at it. Here's the ear. And we're missing a whole one. That's fine. That's fine by me. I watched the Fnaf movie. I cannot believe that it's been 10 years. Almost a whole decade since the Fnaf game got released in 2014. This is truly a milestone, not gonna lie. My feelings overall. I think that watching the movie was an overall good experience. In fact, I think it was a very good experience overall. My glasses, hold on. To be honest, it took me a whole week to form like an overall opinion. So just like many other content creators and people, I waited it out a little bit. I waited for my hype to die down so I could have, you know, a little more objective opinion. Although that's kind of a lie because I'm really biased regardless. I don't know, I've been here since 2014. I'm biased, obviously, I am biased. Was it great? I think it had its fair share of good moments. And obviously it had its goofy moments too, but I felt like it was honestly a movie that hit me in the good, positive way. God, I hope I'm pronouncing this well. Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson did an amazing interpretation of Mike. I felt like he was literally me. I felt like he was me every time Abby did say something completely stupid and completely incoherent. But she's a child, so it makes sense. Elizabeth Lale, which played Vanessa, was a really good actress. I really like her, like she was so pretty. And then we have Matthew Lillard, which is also known as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, or William Afton, the man behind the slaughter. I wasn't really bought at first of him being William Afton, and that was mainly because I knew him from Scooby-Doo, which was an overall really friendly character, Shaggy, like really friendly, so I couldn't see him being possibly William Afton, the man behind the slaughter who killed like 5 children and more. The animatronics were 100% my favorite part. I think that every scene that had the animatronics, and especially the ones that were like horror-induced.
What?
Like presenting us in the movie were literally amazing. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of like the animatronics in general because they were just so cool and they just, you know, they were translated perfectly into this world, which I thought was going to be the hardest part, and probably was the hardest part, to translate them into being realistic and closely designed like the game. Not this one. They were amazing. Every time Foxy was on screen, like about to attack someone, I don't know, I felt fear. I would not want to be in the same room as Foxy. I would not want to be chased by that freaking fox animatronic. We got a bunch of good memes as well. I think that's another part I really enjoyed about the movie. It didn't shy away exactly from having like an enormous amount of memes and references. For example, Game Theory was there. It was a great cameo. It's just a theory, you know. We got the Living Tombstone to play at the end of the movie, which overall watching the movie was great. I think that it has a lot to do with the sense of community that you have with the movie. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the cons. So the first thing obviously was the lore consistency.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a game series which has a deeper, well-hidden story about a man who's...
No, I am not gonna try to explain the lore because I honestly kind of lost like track of the lore after Silver Eyes, so that was a while ago. Yikes. The next point would be the fort scene. That was really conflicted. I was a little disconnected from the internet when the discussions were happening, so I kind of realized this was like a real source of like conflict in the FNAF community, because you were either A, you love the fort scene or like justify it because they're kids, or B, you hate it because you felt it was totally uncalled for, totally inconsistent with the movie, and it ruined the flow. So I guess that was the main cause of conflict. Honestly, when I watched the movie, I didn't quite care very much about the fort scene. I didn't really take that much of it in consideration. I just accepted it. Even if it wasn't that plausible, it kind of did ruin the verisimility or the plausibility of the movie itself. For this movie specifically, I kind of just forgot about the lore. I kind of just came with like no clue of what I was gonna watch, and my expectations weren't this high. I wasn't expecting a great movie. I wasn't expecting a masterpiece, a life-changing movie, or anything like that, because to be honest, it's how do you actually fulfill those kind of like expectations? Like, I was just happy that we had a FNAF movie, nothing else. The fort. It took me out of a little bit of the movie, maybe because it was placed in a part that was like building up to something a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more tense, and it ended up being a fort scene, which was a little bit random, but I kind of just quickly accepted it. Finally, the last con, which, sorry for dwelling so much on the other point, the last point of the cons would be that I personally had a nitpick with the William Afton part, I always come back. I love Springtrap, by the way, I love the actor, by the way, but I felt it was so damn goofy. It was so goofy. I don't know, I expected something a little bit more macabre. A little bit more bloody, a little bit more painful, maybe. I wasn't expecting, like, I don't know, it just felt weird. The part where he said, like, I created you, and then I always come back. I don't know, I just felt it was missing something. But then again, William Afton was like a normal human, still not completely strangled and burned like a toast. Love the FNAF interpretation. I think Springtrap was like my favorite part of the movie, honestly. Like, he was so cool looking. Okay, so the movie rating. Shit. Okay, moving on from that. Okay, so for the movie rating, we're gonna be using the scale from 1 to 10. 1 being appalling, 5 being average, and 10 being a masterpiece. I took reference from the scores from my anime list. I know that's unrelated, but that's how I'm judging this movie. My heart's rating is an 87 out of 10. Get it? Because the bite of 80s. That wasn't funny. I know, I'm sorry. I think that the honest rating would be most likely a 7 out of 10. 7 being good. Forgive me, Scott. Forgive me. This isn't hurting my ego. This isn't hurting my ego at all. I am not that type of person. A 7 out of 10, it is. It's good. I think it's not a masterpiece. I didn't go to the cinema thinking I was gonna watch a life-changing movie. I didn't go with the worst expectations either. Like, I did want to have a movie, but at the same time, I tried to keep myself realistic. And I was pleasantly surprised. In fact, I think I had a lot of fun watching the movie. The final conclusion is, go watch it. What are you doing? Don't listen to the internet all the time. The fort scene has definitely made an impact on how people perceive it. My brother himself hasn't watched the movie yet. And although I'm not planning to force him to watch it, I would have preferred if he had, like, given it a chance instead of saying, oh, what a cringe movie, you know, because it's a cringe movie because it has a fort scene. You know, it's having the fort scene. Like, yeah, I get it. It's a little cringe, but it's not that bad. I mean, it could always be worse, and it's just better if you guys just watch it instead of taking sides without actually having watched it. If you take sides, you should take it in the love triangle between Chica, Foxy, and Mango from Tony Cry Nights. That's the right place to start fighting, not here. This is just a pleasant movie. Anyways, go watch it, or don't. It's really up to you, so. I know you guys, I know this video is not about baking. But like the other day I was baking some cookies because, you know, just thought that it would be like a good idea to bake. And I kind of burnt them.